Hello everyone, it is Tuesday today, which means it's time for another video. And today we're going to make sure that this settlement has plenty of drinking water. So let's roll the intro and get started. So yes, a pumping station, or watering hole, or whatever you'd like to call it. Today we're going to build something that will supply the settlement with water. We already have a very nice puddle in the middle of the settlement, but as of now not much is being done with it. So let's change that. All I have done is place a fire truck, which I think was during the last live stream. I really like it because now it looks like the puddle was formed from the leaking water of the fire truck, or from the fire truck. The fire truck comes with my responders mod. It is of course based on the fire truck from Fallout 76. It is really big and chunky, but for this it works. Speaking of big and chunky, during the last live stream we tried placing a vertibird, but for some reason it didn't have collision. So I swapped it out for one that did in the creation kit, and now I have a vertibird that I can actually place down and select when I have to. So that's now done. I also placed it in a slight angle so it looks like it has fallen over. All it needs now is a reason why it has fallen over and a way to get up on the wing. And then from there maybe I can make a nice bridge or something to the pumping station. Something that will give this settlement a little bit more verticality. I also think it would be a nice little vantage point if the settlement does ever get attacked. Although I don't know if it would work very well since I don't know where the enemies will spawn from. Then again, we also have the wall, so hopefully that will keep most of the attackers out of the settlement itself. In other news, I have been quite busy lately. I've been doing a lot of editing, not for YouTube but for businesses. I also got my driver's license, and it has also been my birthday, so yeah, it's been quite a busy week. Besides the editing, the London team and I have also been playing a lot of Fallout 76, and it's been a lot of fun. I finished the new Brotherhood of Steel quests, I really like those. I also finished the Wastelanders DLC, I like that as well, but less than the Brotherhood of Steel one. And I didn't finish the main quest because fuck me, that's boring. The London lead also didn't finish the main quest line, is now trying to complete it. But he summed it up really well at one point. He finished the quest, and when he was sent on his way to the next one, he just said, "It's just notes and holotapes." And I was like, yeah, that is pretty much why the main quest line fucking sucks. It's just notes, holotapes, and fast traveling. That's all you do. Right now I'm at the point where I have to do quests for Rose, the Mrs. Handy Raider bot. And I'm sorry, but no, I refuse. I remember the last time I had to do quests for her, and all I could manage was one of them before I would have to quit the game because of pure boredom. It was just awful. I've said it before, she sends you somewhere, you get a thing, you bring it back. Plot twist, it's not the right thing, you have to go somewhere else. So you go there, you bring it back again, and then this whole circle of events repeats and you have to do it all over again. I hated it, I still hate it, and I can't be bothered to do it again. One other thing I don't really like are the daily ops. Right now, if you want to get those score points for the scoreboard or whatever it's called, you have to do dailies, or like daily challenges. I call those the dailies. And one of them is that you have to do daily ops. Now, it doesn't matter at what stage of the daily ops you complete it, as long as you complete it, that's fine. But the best would be if you complete it within a 8-minute window, because then you get the best rewards, etc. And it's quite difficult. Basically, you have to play it as a team. There's no other way around it, otherwise you'll never make those 8 minutes. The enemies spawn really fucking slow. Like, I've been walking around those, I guess you'd call them arenas, for like 1.5 minutes, not finding a single enemy. Like, of course, you're not gonna make those 8 minutes if you have to spend 1.5 minutes just looking for something to kill. Like, that doesn't work. Speaking of arenas, they are absolutely terrible. They are huge, like insanely huge. The layout doesn't make any sense, and when you finally see that little red dot on your compass telling you that there's an enemy, you first have to take a 1-minute detour before you can actually get to him. Like, what's the point? How are we supposed to make those 8 minutes if I first have to spend 1.5 minutes finding an enemy, and then spend another minute trying to locate where he actually is and finding my way to him? it's just stupid. Anyways, also the servers lose connection all the damn time, but the timer of the daily ops that continues, so that's great. So yeah, I really fucking hate it. But enough ranting, let's go back to the building. Right now I'm building a little platform. It's not going to be big enough for a bridge like I suggested earlier, but it will be big enough to have a container on top of it that will lead me to the next container. It would also be quite a nice spot to put some guards and get a nice overview of the road that would also scare off any potential thieves that want to steal some water. So, to make sure these guards are not standing completely in the open, I will place some sandbags and a construction light that will light up the road. Now that I think of it, security isn't really something we have done much with in this settlement. I mean, we do have a wall, but we don't have guards or an armory. Hell, we don't even have turrets, so this is going to be something we have to add later on. Besides guards, the settlement also needs a proper farm and a place where people can collect their food from, like a rationing site. But it also means that people might want to steal from the farm itself, so we really need to figure out a way to make it as protected as possible. And it would also be quite fun to make some little scenes of, for example, someone trying to break into the farming area. I mean, there's a lot of little scenes that you can do. You can have the police officers deal with a thief. However, you do need to be careful with that. You can't just place like 2 police officers kicking some guy's teeth in, if you know what I mean. I mean, we can have someone counting the food supplies, we can have someone cleaning up a Brahmin pen. I mean, there are loads of things you can do with it. But switching projects, last week there hasn't been a video because, like I said, I've been really busy. And also I've been working on a new quest mod. It doesn't have a name yet, but it will mainly revolve around ghouls and triggermen. But there will also be some like some smaller groups or factions, such as the Wolfpack, for example, which is a group that used to be gunners, but because of a falling out they've decided to go on their own way. And in a nutshell, some of the ghouls have been kicked out of Diamond City, or some of the ghouls that were kicked off out of Diamond City, and they now want to start a movement that will deal with the racism that these ghouls are still facing. I guess you could call it something like Ghoul Life Matters, for example. Meanwhile, the Wolfpack actively hunts ghouls down. And since most people don't care about ghouls, they're having a hard time protecting themselves. So in a desperate effort, these ghouls are trying to get help from the Triggermen. The Triggermen agree to help these ghouls and protect them from the Wolfpack, but only if the player agrees to help out the Triggermen. Eventually, things will somehow escalate and the player will be forced to choose between the 2 evils. But which is the lesser evil, you ask? Well, that will be completely up to you to decide. And besides writing for the mod, I also want to make a video that will take like a lot of effort. Something like, I don't know, 15 weapons from Fallout 3 for Fallout 4. Something like that. Maybe a how to turn Fallout into Fallout 76 Part 4. If you have an idea of something you want to see, then please let me know down below in the comments. I'm curious to see what you can come up with. And with that, we are now at the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe for more. If you really want to help out the channel, then consider becoming a Patreon. Thank you for watching. My name is Tuesday, and I will see you next time.